Good morning. My name's Jordan Lulich. This is the Lulich Corner. And today I've got the opportunity of sitting down with Linda Kelly from the Pelican Landing Assisted Living Facility. So first off, Linda, thank you for coming in, taking your time to come in and talk about assisted living, the Pelican Landing community, and about what you do. And Linda is the Community Relations Director at the Pelican Landing. And so, Linda, I'd just like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, say a little bit about you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about assisted living and memory care and Pelican Landing.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jordan. I'm happy to be here and to have this opportunity to speak about Pelican Landing. I've been with Pelican Landing for 7.5 years, but I have worked in assisted living communities for over 16 years. It's a passion. I love being around the senior population. It's fulfilling. It's good to say you love going to work every day, because I do.
And it's not work, right?
It's not work. It's fun work.
I value that you've been in the industry for 16 years and that you've worked at other places than Pelican Landing. So I think that it's fair to say that your experience in the assisted living space. And so we have a lot of clients. We have a large audience that are maybe thinking about assisted living, or they're thinking about it for their mom or for their dad or for a loved one. Mm-hmm. And so what do you think is some criteria to consider? Like there's different types of facilities, right? And so what are the different types of facilities that one should consider when they're thinking about a loved one or for themselves, assisted living?
There's a lot to think about. I usually, when I'm visiting with folks, I say to them, go with your heart. If you feel comfortable in a place in which you're around and you see a lot of activities, a lot of smiles on the people that are there, that's a telltale sign that you or your loved one would be happy living there.
And then there's different levels of care, right? So we have assisted living facilities, we've got independent living, and then we've got memory care.
Correct.
So what are the differences, and when should one consider one over the other?
If you're considering it for a loved one, it would probably be your mother, your father, your grandmother, or grandfather, or sister, brother, aunt, or uncle. To determine whether it's assisted living or memory care, our director would have to do an assessment. In our memory care, it's all inclusive. So a lot of things are already included. There is no level of care. Assisted living, we have 5 levels of care. So if one needs help with med management, showering, dressing, grooming, toileting, feeding, or incontinent, those would be our different levels of care that would be added to the monthly rent.
Okay. And then independent living is just where you're living independently without a level of care as well, right? That's kind of like the third bucket.
If there's a community that offers that.
Right.
Now, at Pelican Landing, speaking for our community, you can live as independently as you want. We take care of all the amenities you no longer have to worry about.
Okay. And so talk a little bit about Pelican Landing. So it's privileged me with a tour a few months ago, and it was a beautiful property that you guys have. You guys are located right in Sebastian, next to St. Sebastian Catholic Church.
Correct.
How big is the property, and how many units does it have?
Okay. We have 89 apartments, 63 in assisted living, 26 in memory care. But we have the capability of housing 101 families total with spouses.
Yeah, with spouses. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so a resident comes to Pelican Landing and they enroll in not the memory care, but just the assisted living. Mm-hmm. And so to talk about the day in the life living at Pelican Landing, what is it like? What type of events are going on? What's the food situation like?
Okay.
How does it work for someone who has no idea how assisted living works?
And that's a good question, because a lot of people don't know. As a matter of fact, a lot of people feel like assisted living, it reminds them maybe of a nursing home.
Right.
We are not that. Our residents live as vibrant as they want. So their day would start with our med techs giving them their medication. We manage all their medications for them. Then get ready for breakfast. We serve them 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have activities going on all day long, but it's on an individual basis. So when I meet with families, I want to know more about their loved one that's coming in, so we can incorporate things on our calendar to entice them. It's a community where you can't force them, but we always encourage them
to be involved, to get active.
Being around their peers is very, very important.
So what type of activities can one expect at Pelican Landing?
We do board games, card games. Wii bowling is a very big thing at Pelican Landing. It's a big competition there with that.
Okay. All right.
We do chef demonstrations. We have a touchscreen TV. We can do karaoke. We can do virtual tours around the world. If somebody visited a country and they just haven't seen it in a long time, we can pull it up on our TV screen.
Very cool.
And it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah, just to kind of relive those memories as well.
We just put in a putting green. So we're now using that for our residents outside.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that when I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for food, you said you serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So is food served in the rooms, or is there, kind of a specific place that they go, like a kitchen, or like?
It's a dining room, and it's served restaurant style. So our residents prefer a heavier meal at lunchtime. So we offer them an entree, and we make homemade soups every day. But we have an always available menu, so they're not just stuck with just saying, this is what we're having today. You can have whatever you want. You just have to ask for it.
That's good.
So they have choices.
You said something earlier that struck me is you said a lot of people or some people think that we're a nursing home, and that's the wrong impression. And I think that's something that's important, that people who don't know about assisted living facilities or memory care units or nursing homes kind of just automatically assume that they're all the same. And so what is the difference between a nursing home? Because you said you're not a nursing home.
We're not a nursing home.
What's the difference between a nursing home and what people have that preconceived notion of for a nursing home versus Pelican Landing?
Okay, we have individual apartments. Some nursing homes, a lot of them are shared apartments. Funds are a big factor, whether you can live in skilled or assisted living. You have to have certain licenses. We're an LNS license, meaning we can take care of people. But if somebody needed, for an example, a Hoyer lift, that would be something they could only get at a skilled nursing community. It's not something an assisted living community could offer them.
Okay. So a nursing home may be for those who are suffering from more severe and significant injuries.
Correct.
Versus assisted living, you may not be injured at all. You may just want that level of community and that support if needed. Correct. It's available if you want to take advantage of it.
And the fact that residents that are not wanting to cook anymore and they want somebody to make their meals and make their bed and just live independently, in the sense that they can come and go as they please. The freedom to socialize, the freedom to have a bus that takes you where you need to go. We offer a lot of things at Pelican Landing so that they can live the life they deserve
on their
and
terms.
Earned.
Yep, on their terms.
Yes.
So that bus, so you mentioned transportation. Where does that transportation go?
It takes them shopping twice a week to Publix and Walmart.
Okay.
It takes them to doctor appointments in Sebastian and Vero Beach. It also takes them on lunch outings if they want to go.
Okay.
They pick where they want to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So people can get out as they want.
Absolutely.
Now, the medical care. Let's talk a little bit more about the medical care that's offered. So if one does need medical care, what is available on a consistent basis? Or, if something pops up, do they have to go to a doctor's, or are there doctors available at Pelican Landing? Or what can they expect from, when they need medical attention?
Okay. We have an LPN on staff 24/7. Our staff is there 24/7. We do have a doctor and an ARNP that call on Pelican Landing. It doesn't take away from their primary doctor, but it offers a secondary use. If something urgent is needed, you can use that doctor as a backup plan.
Okay.
So it helps our residents. And really, for this generation, it's very comfortable for them to stay in their own home and have a doctor come see them.
Definitely. Yeah.
Versus having to get on a bus and go see their doctor.
Wait in the waiting room. And that
causes high blood pressure.
Your position at Pelican Landing, where do you fit in? You said you were the community relations director, but so what is the community relationships director?
My position is to welcome people. All of us have a core value name. Mine is welcoming. I want somebody to know that when they come into Pelican Landing, I'm welcoming them into their possible new home. It is very difficult for any family member to have to come in and admit they can't care for their loved one anymore.
Right.
And I want them to have a comfort level. That's what we do. So I offer them different apartments. We have 11 different apartments at Pelican Landing. So depending on what the family's needs are, I try to offer them a future home, a forever home for their loved one.
And have you always been in that position?
No. I started out as a concierge and was promoted into this position.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, sharing a little bit about Pelican Landing, about how you can help people with that transition when they're ready in life. It sounds like a very welcoming community, and I think you really wear that core value really well on your name tag. When you came in, I was wondering, I was like, welcoming. I was like, is that the name of her position or what is that? So I'm glad you mentioned that without me even asking about that.
Well, it's important because at Pelican Landing, our mission statement is to welcome, to care, and to serve.
Yeah.
And everybody was asked for a name that they wanted. And as a concierge, when I first started, I knew the difficulty of moving in. And so welcoming them made them feel welcomed.
Yeah.
So that tension maybe was off their shoulders for a little bit.
Yep.
And I kept it with me.
Good. All right, Lindell. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you taking your time. I'm Jordan Lulich. This is the Lulich Corner, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.